with Alex Hernandez and me, Steve Owens. We have on the line Jason and Randy Sklar, the Sklar brothers.
The Sklar brothers. You guys are fucking awesome. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Hey, we got these badass hats you guys sent, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Aren't they cool? I love the new snapback. We've been looking for different merch to get out there, and then we thought, man, we have a lot of people that would probably wear baseball hats to listen to our podcast, and I need a good snapback, and so they made a really good one.
This logo is fucking dope.
Who came up with that?
Thank you.
Be honest.
Aaron Nestor drew it. We came up with the idea of doing the double NBA logo, and then instead of dribbling a basketball, we had microphones in our hand, and then he kind of just took it from there, and it was really turned out to be this little iconic thing that reps the show, that if we ever see it anywhere, it's such a good feeling for us. We're like, oh my God, there's a fan. It feels great.
Well, they're super fucking cool. I mean, they look cool online at sklarBros.com. But man, they're super dope in person.
I'm trying to be really really cool and hip with the millennials, so I'm trying to wear it flat bill style. How do you guys wear yours?
Flat. That's how you know how old someone is. If they're curved hat, you're like, all right, what are you on your way to a Dave Matthews concert? But if they're flat brimmed, you can rest a drink on it.
Exactly. Something really like a buttery nipple maybe, or a mojito, something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, so can you tell us about that? You guys are doing a comedy, not like a tour, but a show down in Austin.
The Moon Tower.
Yeah, I mean, we have a couple days before that. We're in Cleveland for the first. We did one show there, but we're there for the whole weekend this weekend. We'll be there through this weekend, Thursday through Sunday, and then we're going to go Thursday through Saturday, and then we're going to go to Portland in 2 weeks. But then we go to the Moon Tower Comedy Festival, which we love. It's our fourth year in a row doing it. I think we just get to come back every year because we commentate and call live this massive ping pong tournament that happens at the Stateside Theater.
Cool.
It is so much. It is pure fun to be able, and we weren't sure that we could even do it the first time. They said, yeah, you guys want to just commentate live, call this thing, call anyone. So they said, I don't know, 3 hours. And we're like, do you know how difficult that's going to be? 3 hours, this might suck. Let's just do it for a half an hour, and if you like it, we'll continue to do it. But if we don't like it, if you don't, or it gets tired or boring, just let's all agree that we can get out of it at that point. And we started doing it. It was the most fun thing we've ever done. And then it was one of those things where it was held in the afternoon, and about a third full when we started. Then the second round happened, it was about half full because people were talking about it. Then it was 2/3 full. And then for the final match, which wound up going into overtime, it was almost completely full. We were making straight up jokes on all of it. They bring out the trophy for the winner, and the top of the trophy fell off. It was so perfect. And they said we have to do this every year. So then they bring us out. We do our podcast, a live version of our new podcast, Dumb People Town. We call the ping pong tournament. We participate, host another show. We're going to do the goddamn comedy jam and sing a song and do some comedy and do that. So it's really fun. Love it.
So you guys play instruments, or how do?
No, that's how we don't sing either. We don't do any of it.
You just talk, sing.
Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, we're the biggest music nerds ever and love music so much, but just can't. Although some moments you get into it and you're really doing it, and they kind of join you in the background, and you can kind of pull off a couple moments, but it's more fun than it is pretty, I'll say that.
So you said you guys are big music nerds. What are some of you guys' favorite bands? And are they the same?
Yeah, although I think we have some definite overlap. Although I have a record player, and this is Randy talking, and I just got it a couple of years ago, and I've been really very carefully and somewhat voraciously, though, building this vinyl collection. And through friends who have just great taste and know amazing artists and music and albums to listen to, we just got it. I've been hip to a bunch of albums that by
Like who you talking about? Like Nickelback or Daughtry or anything like that?
Yeah, like straight Nickelback. Yeah, a lot of Nickelback. You mess with, by the way, those people who threw those stones at Nickelback, you mess with the nickel, you're going to get the back.
Or any kind of Creed?
What was ironic about that is that they threw a lot of rocks at Nickelback, but Nickelback wasn't really throwing rocks back at them. That's a good point. That's a great point. No, but I mean, like, albums like the Beach Boys' Holland or Bob Dylan's Street Legal. I mean, of course you know Bill and Dylan. Of course you know the Beach Boys, but I didn't know these albums, and I'm just listening to them. Graham Nash had 2 solo albums that came out right in the height of everything that was going on with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and they're like 2 of the most unbelievable albums you've ever heard. You know, and then, you know, tons of newer. I'm a huge Beck fan, and you know, I mean, where I got all these Tribe Called Quest albums, and I mean, I do love listening to music, and I'm trying to get my kids really into it too. I think like maybe the greatest moment as a parent is I came home from working, and it was like 5 o'clock, and my kids had been home for a little bit, and my oldest daughter was doing homework, and I saw that she had taken out like the Weezer Blue album,
nice,
and just played. She was playing. She played it to do her homework too.
I mean, did a tear?
Put it on. I was like, my job is done. I just taught you how to be a real human being.
Did a tear roll down your cheek when that occurred? When you saw that?
What?
I said, did a tear roll down your cheek when you saw that?
A little bit, yeah. It's like the Native Americans. All the trash. We can never go back now. We've done irreparable damage. No, but it was a great moment. It's super awesome, and that they get it. You know, like they love Tanya Tucker, which is awesome. Like they would never know her. You know, what I mean, that's like I was like, she's the Taylor Swift of her day. Like you guys don't understand. They love her because she's so raw. And she sounds like a little kid singing. So they really connect with it. My 2 daughters. So I'm like, this is awesome that we're kind of getting you into this stuff, and you will be better people when you get to college and you have all this knowledge.
I tried doing that. I tried doing that for my daughter who's 8 years old, and I played her the Beatles' "A Day in the Life of," and she started laughing. She's like, "What are those weird sounds in the background?" I was like, "Baby, they were on these things called drugs."
You're like, oh, what? Are you talking about the sounds of geniusness that are coming through?
Exactly. Yeah. So she didn't get it.
Some stuff. Some stuff you can put on, and stuff. That's what I've learned with my kids. Like my kids will like, you know, My House by Flo Rida, and I like can't stop that. But then at the same time, it's a fun song. I get why it's fun. But then at the same time, yeah, I'll play them in my car like Queen. Like they love Queen. They love Don't Stop Me Now. They love We Are the Champions. They love Another One Bites the Dust. They love all that old stuff. They like The Who. They like new stuff. You know, they'll like the band Whitney. Like my kids love the band Whitney because the guy kind of sounds like a girl, and it's like really cool guitar stuff, and they just fun.
That's freaking funny, man.
That's badass. So you said you were getting some records from your different friends and stuff. Did you get any records from Jonah Ray?
From Jonah Ray, I didn't get it from him, but I mean, I love some of the stuff he's introduced me to on the music episode of our show that he's done. It's just awesome. He's right in one lane, and there's like a certain side of me that really loves all that like hard punk stuff. I love it, and but he's not all punk. He's like sort of the melodic side of punk a little bit. Like there's a part of him that enjoys when they go hard, but at the same time, I feel like what he brings to our show is like hard with a melody to it that is really catchy, and I love it. He likes hooky stuff, but
the bubblegum pop. Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Well, that's kick ass. So let's move away from music and let me ask you. Most comedians don't really have an encyclopedic knowledge of sports. How did you guys come upon both?
Other comedians who have had it, it's like the ones that do know sport. Well, like, I mean, if you ever talk to Greg Proops about baseball, he'll put you to shame. He's like, we spent time with baseball historians like John Thorne and incredible baseball historian, and he can like hang with them. He's unreal, his knowledge of baseball. And, you know, and other comedians like Neil Brennan knows a ton about basketball. He's really good friends with Blake Griffin, and you know, I love talking to certain comedians about funny about it, and you talk to your friends or comedians, it's a blast. I mean, it's like Rory Scovel knows a ton about golf, and Jay Larson knows a ton about football, and if you ask Nick Soon about anything related to the Seahawks or the Mariners, he's all over. Like we went and made these Weast mode shirts. So instead of beast mode, it was like Diane Weist's picture, but the same color. Like when she gets all passive aggressive, she goes all Weist mode. We gave that shirt to Nick Soon. I think he thought it was the greatest thing ever. So that's great. But you're right. I mean, most comedians are sensitive people who were picked on by the jocks in their schools growing up, and that's not to say that we weren't. Although we played a lot of sports and we kind of really loved it and understood it. It was a way a lot of times we communicate, even with our fathers through sports, because he was a big sports fan and coached all our teams and everything. So, I mean, it was just, there's something beautiful about it. And when those who understand, like we sit down and talk, like we'll text back and forth with friends during games, and texting is so funny and fast and a lot of times dark. It's just great. And when people understand, it's so wonderful. It's almost like a language you're speaking.
So, did this like really grow, like this whole sports thing? Because you guys graduated from Michigan, correct?
Yeah.
So you were there at the height of the Fab Five, correct?
Yeah, we were there. Fab Five. We were there. Fab Five. We were there. Desmond Howard, Heisman Trophy.
Tim Biakabatuka.
We had great years, great sports. Red Berenson, tremendous hockey team. Like, it was fun, and we loved it. And we grew up in St. Louis, big Cardinals fans. Three World Series in our youth years, 82, 85, and 87. We were football Cardinals fans until they left. And didn't care about them.
So now you're a Cowboys fans?
Blues hockey. Big Blues hockey fans.
That's okay. So, what was it like at that time, and when you were in Michigan and all that was going? I mean, how could you? Was anybody studying, or I mean, how did that work? It must have been parties like galore.
We loved it. I mean, we loved it. Loved going there because you had super smart people and very charismatic folks and dynamic people. But then they took their sports really seriously. So it was like, I can remember numerous times where we would have our books at the library and we'd be up in some cubicle, or some little study table way high up in the graduate library, and then leave at 7, run over to Price Center, watch the Fab Five play a basketball game till about 10, come back and then do homework till like 1 or 2 in the morning. And it was just like your break. You've been working there for 2 or 3 hours, go watch a basketball game for a few hours, clear your head and have fun, and then come back and study again.
That's
I mean, I loved it. It brought everyone together. It brought everybody from different parts of the university together.
Yeah, exactly. You could do the jocks, the nerds, the scientific, everybody. Yeah, I can get on board with that. So, you guys recently did a signing of the stars. Is that correct?
Yeah, my second year of doing it. The first year where we, Harbaugh kind of wanted to make a bigger deal out of the stars.
So how did
Randy, you're cutting out a little bit. Yeah. So Harbaugh, it was cool. He wanted to sort of create a huge splash the first time. Randy did it solo. I couldn't do it because I had booked a pilot for True TV, which ultimately didn't go, but here in LA. So Randy had to go do it solo, which was amazing. He did an incredible job. And then they moved it to the Chrysler Center, and we did it this year in front of more people, probably about 5,000 or 6,000 people. Last year was about 4,000 people. And this year they did it so fun because we, you got to understand, we went through there for the Fab Five. We were there and camped out outside of Chrysler in the winter for the first game that they played against me. And, so here we are sleeping in freezing temperatures, and we relayed that story on stage, and we told the joke, of course. Yeah, I mean, the thing was, it was the Duke game, so, it was such a fun moment, and our joke was that I'll never forget that night in the mid-'90s when we were walking into the Chrysler Center to see Michigan play Duke, and a 2-year-old Grayson Allen tried to trip me. And I'll never forget it. Which was so fun. And then, of course, we made the joke, oh, did that joke go too far? I know there's a referee in Ohio who thinks that crossed the line. Turns out it was about 6 inches short. And the crowd went, that was a great one for us. That was super fun. It was just fun to write comedy that we knew these people would totally dig.
So how did they seek you out? I mean, obviously they knew you graduated from there.
Yeah,
but...
they knew us, and there's a woman there, Sherry Hacha, who's amazing. She's she used to be the academic liaison between the athletic department and the schools, and then she took a different job where she's the kind of the head of the career post football, because a lot of these college players, as good as they are, aren't going to make it in the pros. So she develops connections with alumni who are out in the field graduating, and she sent players our way. And we tried to help, counsel them and give them advice, and we're happy to do it. And so she sets up a really nice network of people out of the school who can help the athletes after they're done. And she and her husband, who we've become really close friends with through the years, they're just huge fans of Chief Seats. Her husband was like the biggest fan of Chief Seats, and she was like, you got to get these guys back here for something, or take them to the, let them be a part of something. And this is years ago. And so they reached out to us, and we connected with them, and just became really good friends with them. So when this idea came up that Harbaugh is just like kind of crazy beats where he'll have an idea, his idea, and his reasoning was actually quite pure in that he said, look, what is Midnight Madness? Midnight Madness is just the time at which the day turns to the day, which is the first day that you can practice basketball. Well, all the great programs figured, let's have a midnight party. Let's enjoy it. Let's actually start practice at midnight and invite all the fans to come out. And Tom Izzo's going to come out in a bomber jacket and a tiny plane. It's just
they really do that?
crazy.
That's crazy.
And so he said, why can't we do that with National Letter of Intent, like National Signing Day? Why can't we turn that into a fun thing? He's like, we can't cheat at Michigan. We can't give people money to play, which they're doing in the SEC all over the place. He's like, we can't do that. But what we can do is make kids feel really good about coming here. So here's what we're going to do. And so they so he put that out there in the universe, and then all of a sudden, people in the athletic department, well, now they have to put on this big program, and there's only a handful of people who could host something like that. Maybe Rich Eisen, he definitely could do it. A few other people could do it, but not a lot of people have experience hosting on a large level an event like that. They wanted to make it entertaining and fun, so there aren't a lot of people who are comedians or who can do comedy like that and connect with a show like that, who also are big fans of the football program, who know how to ask the right sports questions. Like, they could have gotten local personalities to do it, which would have been fine, but it feels like they want to make this a big event, so they tapped us to do it, and, we feel honored because they raise a ton of money for a great charity every time they do it on top of what they're doing. And then we feel like, hey, we're part of the process that makes this a special place to come to, Michigan.
So how do you feel about the college kids, playing these sports, like putting their lives on hold just to play sports while everybody else gets rich off them? Because just the other day, Richmond, I think it was Richmond College, 5 of the kids on the baseball team got suspended because they were caught playing fantasy football.
I know, that is the dumbest thing I've ever. There are certain NCAA restrictions that I kind of agree with, and then there's a lot that I'm like, this needs to be changed. Why can't you be a nimble organization and actually be smart about how you treat these kids? They should get a stipend. They should, personally, here's what I think they should do. All the money they make for the university, every single person that in whatever sport you're in, should go into a trust fund that you can access when you have graduated. You have to graduate in order to access that. So it encourages them to stay in school
the
and
4
then
years.
the money that they make. And then let's say you're a big college athlete who generated a lot of things at school. You get a play even if you don't make it as a pro. And for some of the athletes who will never sell jerseys or make money for the university, but are still really important, like, you know, in certain sports, maybe they get a small percentage of that, like a profit sharing kind of a thing. And there you go. I mean, it seems like the high profile sports like basketball and football, the ones that draw the most money for the schools, those sports, the athletes are encouraged in many ways to leave school early so they can go get paid. And this could be a way to encourage them to graduate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's an awesome idea. And so, like, with your connections, is that with like people in Michigan? I mean, would that be something that can take place? Like, do like a trial run?
I don't know.
Guess?
I mean, I think the NCAA. You'd have to go up to the NCAA and have to. We have to the NCAA, but it's worth talking about. We have a friend who's a regent at the University of Michigan. It's worth bringing up to him in a way that, you know, I mean, when you're the regent of a university that like Michigan, it's hard to balance the sports and the actual university part of it. That's the academic part of it. Sometimes the two are at odds, but you know, I think there's definitely a place for these kids who do generate so much money. I mean, that stadium is filled with 110,000 fans for whatever, you know, 6 games out of a every fall. That's an incredible amount of revenue. And yet, I just read that University of Michigan is $240 million in debt. In debt, and that's not bad. In debt, and
that's to pay for Harbaugh.
Yeah. I mean, Harbaugh's only $9 million of it a year.
Where did that money go? What did they do with that money? What are they spending it on?
They renovated the stadiums. They're building a new practice facility that's as nice as some small MAC school stadiums for their football team. You know, they renovated the Chrysler Basketball Center. They're creating new weight rooms and things like that. Cost, you know, upwards from $90 to $150 million. It just does.
That makes sense.
So it's kind of crazy, but you know, I mean, we're just happy at this point. We can't get that deep into it. We're just happy that they include us as part of what they're doing.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's got to feel pretty good. Like all that fucking around for 4 years, it really didn't matter.
I know. Yeah, exactly. It was a great place for us to go to school. We made incredible friends, and then to love the university, we love it, and then come back and be able to contribute in the ways that we contribute. That's a tremendous thing for us too. We feel like this is, if we're ever going to use our powers for good, this is one place where we can.
So
yeah, Jay, you there? I can't hear you. You can't hear me? All right.
Can you hear me now?
It's your phone.
Can you hear that? Just kidding.
Hey guys, sorry, I just had to get him off because he can't hear me. I'll finish up. Finish up with you guys, so that's fine. Sorry about that.
No worries. So I guess my question was, what do you guys think about after Kawhi Leonard's monster game the other night? Immediately he got pulled into a drug test.
MVP status or no?
Yeah, his MVP quote exclamation, I guess, right?
Well, like, he had a monster game, and then immediately, like, he didn't even get to go to the locker room. It was just straight to go take a drug test for PEDs.
Oh, they made him take a drug test right after that? I didn't see that.
Yeah, like, on the spot, immediately.
Why? That is the weirdest thing ever. It's Kawhi Leonard. It's like, if like, Kyle Singler had like a monster game, then I'd make that guy pee like on the court. You understand what I'm saying? With Kawhi Leonard, he was like already in the like he's number 3 behind Harden and Westbrook in MVP discussions, in my opinion.
Right.
He's right behind them. And by the way, people like Van Gundy, who know a hell of a lot more about the NBA than I do, say that he's even higher. They're like, you should really consider him as far as in the MVP discussion.
Why wouldn't you consider him when he handles both sides of the ball? You know what I mean?
Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion, is like a better defending Paul George. And
yes.
If he ever really worked on his game, like, okay, so let's say the Spurs play the Cavs in the finals.
Let's say
could
that.
Happen.
Yeah.
Definitely could happen. That's the guy that takes LeBron and neutralizes him. He He is worth so much. That guy's worth so much. He's like, you guys remember Trevor Ariza as a player? I mean, I think he's still playing, but like that dude was amazing, but not nearly as good offensively as he's the best because he took your best player.
He was at the Rockets, right?
Yeah,
the Trevor Ariza.
But
yeah, who has your? I mean, whose vote are you for MVP?
Whose vote am I for? Yeah. I mean, I just think you can't. No one. Kawhi Leonard's amazing, and he's having a great year, and he's super valuable to the team. But you can't beat Westbrook. What Westbrook and Harden are doing is historic.
It's I mean, how many triple doubles?
All of them.
Right, every single game.
He won't pull votes away from them. Those guys. It's between the two of them. And my vote right now is for Westbrook, just because I think he is.
I would say Westbrook as well, but my heart. I mean, I had to say Kawhi, obviously, but theoretically, if you want to go by stats and everything, generally it goes to the person who scores the most and does the most. But this guy's
right. I mean,
all
look,
offense.
Harden might win it, but yes, it does. But like, I don't know. They're both awesome. I think if it went to either guy, nobody could be mad except for those individual guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if it went to Harden, I wouldn't be like, what? If it went to Westbrook, I wouldn't be like, are you kidding me?
Well, didn't Harden...
Either guy deserves it. And it's funny because as Spurs fans, you guys have to know, it's like I understand not your pain, but I understand the position you're in. And you have to know the position that you're in. Everybody hates you. And I mean hates the Spurs. Unless you're in San Antonio or just a weirdo somewhere else.
Or military all over the world.
You hate the Spurs, man. It's the same way people feel about the St. Louis Cardinals. It's the same way people feel about the Pats. Although some people like the Pats who aren't from New England. But they hate... And by the way, San Antonio Spurs fans are not bad fans. Those are good fans. Cardinals fans get the rap because everyone's like, oh, you guys think you're the best fans in the world. Best fans in the world. Everyone gets really upset about that stuff. Well, do you ever think to wonder that, like, maybe that was something that was created by the team itself to get guys who wouldn't want to go live in St. Louis to go play for their team? It's like one of the selling points. You want to play in a place where people don't care about you? You want to play in Shea Stadium? This is years ago, where they hate that, like, where nobody even gives a crap. No, you want to go to a place like Busch Stadium where it's going to break attendance records and you walk on the field and you're a god. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's St. Louis, but why would you, you know what I'm saying? So they built that myth up and then got a ton of grief for it, but you know what I mean?
So are you following the Rams now that they left St. Louis?
No, I kind of just, it is, as you guys kind of understand from a sports perspective, it's a total feel thing. You either feel it or you don't. You either feel it for a team or you do not feel it for a team. And I have to be honest, I don't feel it for the Rams. Like, I watched them and liked them when they went to the Super Bowl. I know that's wrong, but I was like, yeah, I like this team. I'll root for this team. They're St. Louis. And, truthfully, I wasn't even rooting for them. I was just rooting for the city of St. Louis. I was like, I would love for these guys. I suffered through we had Rams season tickets. And I'm telling you,
terrible.
Were so bad. Like 5-11, 6-10, 4-12, every year they were just terrible.
And then you got a quarterback that worked at the grocery store. You're like, great, we're really gonna fucking go far. And now he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, I agree. And so it's like, truthfully, I can't. I was for them when they were making their run, and I was actually really happy for them, but more happy for the city of St. Louis than really for the team. It wasn't like I bled. You know what I mean? Hold on one second. Hey guys, sorry.
Cool, no worries. Well,
okay.
we know you guys only have a few more minutes, so can you tell everybody maybe your Moon Tower Festival dates and, where people can find you and your CISO and Netflix specials and all of your podcasts and Twitter handles and all that?
For sure. So Moon Tower is going to be I believe that second to last, I think it's the 20th through the 23rd, sometime around there, like that Wednesday to Saturday in April. And we'll be there. We have like an event on Wednesday. We're going to be doing like 6 or 7 things. So if you're interested and you love comedy, you're a comedy fan, I highly recommend getting the pass and skipping on over to Austin for the weekend and just going and checking out all these shows. It's like a pure comedy festival. I just love it. Pure comedy. So, like, all comedy shows, really good people, podcasts, like we said, the ping pong tournament. If you get an all-access pass, you can see everything.
Oh, so you
So,
can do the
really
ping
fun
pong?
weekend to be in Austin. That's that. You know, we have our podcast, which is called Dumb People Town, our new one on Feral Audio. It's been great. It has grown so much, and I give all the credit to the Feral people there. Doing an incredible job getting that thing out there. We just had John Hamm on the podcast, and this week is Jamar Neighbors from the Roast Battle. He's in The Wave, and he was in Keanu. He played one of the gang members in Keanu. He's really funny. He's in that LeBron James Sprite commercial where he's like, just read the line, LeBron. Great. It's so funny and really good. We just had the two guys from the podcast, The Dollop, Dave Anthony and Gareth Reynolds. They came on this week, and we just recorded with them today. It'll air next week. You know, Dan Harmon's going to come on soon. Aisha Tyler's going to come on at the end of the month. So a really good kind of mix of people, and that podcast has been great. You can get it for free on iTunes. Just go to Dumb People Town or go to our website, supersklars.com. And then, you know, we've got this special that we just shot in Chicago that's going to come out on CISO in July. So that we're really excited about. We have a couple of other show ideas and stuff that are in development that hopefully will see the light of day. We did an episode of Bajillion Dollar Properties, which will be out on CISO probably in the next couple months. And then we did a show that I can't say what it was, but we're on an upcoming couple episodes of an upcoming show that is a killer show that most people know. That was super cool to shoot, and we are so proud of what we did in it, but I'm not allowed to say it because I signed a non-disclosure. We signed a non-disclosure agreement, but we can say it, I think, as it nears or comes closer.
Cool. So then just check your website.
What did I say?
I said, so we'll just check your website to see what's going on.
Yeah, just check the website, supersklars.com. And we have Scarborough Country, which is on Earwolf, again, free as well. So that's out there, and it's doing its thing, and we're very happy that we still get a chance to do that. And then, NFL Network. We do stuff on NFL.com, and then they air a lot of that stuff on the network itself. That's going to pick back up in April. So if you go to NFL Now or get the NFL app, NFL.com app, it's great. Our stuff that we usually do there is weekly and fun there as well.
Hey, real quick, where's Tony Romo going?
Tony Romo? I think he's going to Denver.
Okay.
I think he's going to Denver. Or he could go to Houston. I think he's going to Denver, though. I mean, Houston, if you get Tony Romo, that's a big gamble. You just spent a ton of money on a quarterback that sucks. And,
terrible.
You know, to get him away from Denver. I think Tony Romo goes to Denver and has a great end of his career there.
Like a Peyton Manning style? He goes out on top?
Yeah, because I think Elway knows how to treat star quarterbacks. It's Fox there right now,
yeah,
right?
It's
Or
a new
is
guy.
Kubiak out?
Yeah, Kubiak's not there anymore.
Kubiak's not there anymore.
Yeah, he retired.
Fox is somewhere else.
It's the defensive guy from, I think was it the 49ers or something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, I think they just know how to handle those types of players, and I mean, I think he'll be great in Denver. I think he'll have give him a great defense and then watch him do what he does. And I think the pressure being outside from under the micromanager that is Jerry Jones just makes all the difference in the world. I actually think it'll be an easier place for him to play, and he will have a cool second life there, I think.
You don't think he'll get into trouble with all that legal weed?
Maybe.
For his
I'm
glaucoma?
a big proponent of, man, I think just in watching these guys kind of get addicted to opiates and OxyContin and all that stuff that the doctors prescribe, I'm like, weed is a lot better. What if they put weed in a pill that looks like an OxyContin pill?
Yeah,
You're just taking a pill. You put THC in that stuff and you give it to them. The effects aren't nearly as bad on them. They're not nearly as addicting, and it takes care of their pain. Yeah. So the fact that weed is illegal, how is that in any way, shape, or form a performance-enhancing drug? I understand why steroids are illegal because
it shrinks your dick.
Bigger, you hit harder, you see quicker. I understand why uppers maybe make you more alert. They talked about the bowl full of greenies that so used to eat before the game, and like their eyes would widen and they'd see the ball a lot better. It's like, yeah, I understand how that helps you out. That's performance enhancing, but weed slows you down. Weed calms you down.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe weed can help like injuries, return from injuries, and it should be part of. And now that there are edibles and stuff like that, it's just easier. You don't have to smoke it in such a bad way. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Not to get on a soapbox, but I think it is ridiculous that you can play in Seattle and buy weed, you can play in and buy weed, but everywhere else you can't. California, you can play in San Francisco, San Diego, LA, and buy it, and you're fine.
Yeah, Zeke Elliott just went into the shop, and he's fucking so much news about it whenever they went to go play Seattle.
Yeah, I know. I remember that. Yeah, I remember
Stupid.
that. He also had a lot of news for hitting his girlfriend, which was not good either.
That's true, too.
Maybe he should have smoked weed and calmed down.
Well, I think that you are required to. I think you're required to exhibit some level of domestic abuse if you're a Dallas Cowboy.
I mean, come on. Yeah, he seems to court those people. Yeah,
that's certainly true.
They should be hounded for every day for the rest of eternity for giving Greg Hardy a chance.
That was fun. But I know you got to go, but just the whole him sacking Brady and then talking about how he wanted to fuck Giselle or do all this other bullshit. Like
I know, I'm like, shut up, man. You're
not boxing.
The case for why people think you're acting like an animal, and just don't do that. You know what I mean? I'm like, have more decorum. Obviously, like, you can get pumped up, by the way, about the way you're playing, but just don't go into that territory.
Exactly.
Okay, so we want you guys to tell all of our listeners about y'all's CISO promo code.
You have a promo code?
Oh, we don't have a CISO promo code yet.
Oh, you don't?
For our...
Okay, don't tell anybody that.
We will. I mean, when the special comes out in July, they may give us one. So
well, no, I mean, I thought, don't they advertise with you guys?
Oh, CISO?
Yeah.
On our show?
Yeah.
They don't advertise on our show just yet. I mean, they've advertised bajillion-dollar listing properties on our other show, but they don't advertise on our show per se. But I'm sure once our special comes out, we can give people a code to see it.
But you guys do have like a 15-minute special on there already, right? It's like you're on the guest list, I believe is what it was.
Oh, yeah, we did a little thing on the guest list, which is great. And that's like some material from from the upcoming special, but we just changed it up a little bit, did a little different, and we've been sort of looking at the edit of that from Chicago from a month ago. Very happy with it.
And
very happy.
Just so you know, yes, it's true. The San Antonio Walgreens, it's true.
The what? In Walgreens?
Yeah. You said
nice.
You said something on your special about the Walgreens in San Antonio. I fucking couldn't stop laughing.
Thank you.
But yeah,
Thank you.
But
Thank
it's
you
true.
much.
So whoever
true.
wants to find out what it is, they gotta watch. So and subscribe.
You can carry a concealed weapon in a CVS at Walgreens. Okay, good to know.
Well, now they don't have to watch.
Appreciate it.
Come on. I'm just kidding. All right, thanks,
All right.
dude.
You gotta watch to find out.
Last question, guys. Have y'all decided which one is the better deal?
Yeah, I think mine is because it's so cheap. Like $1.49, that's super cheap, man. It's
Well-
like you could order six of those and you'd be all set. Jason's $10, but I mean, yeah, they're look, they're good deals. We had so much fun doing that commercial. Our buddy Chris Bellman directed it. So funny. I love when we get shit about it on people like, come on, you guys are artists.
What are you
Why?
gonna do,
So the other
Burger
day
King?
was like, I look at these guys and I watch them do this, and my question to them is like, why? Why would you do this? I'm like, whenever we take jobs so we can support our families,
Exactly.
we continue doing what we do. And someone asks us why we do it, we say why. Why would someone ask us that? We just turn that thing back around on them. We're like, man, look, we're not doing this for you. We also actually what we did in the commercial, and so chill out.
Well, that's kick-ass.
You got it.
Me and Alex are going to go recreate that scene and post that picture when we release this episode.
Do it. I love it.
All right, dude.
All right, boys.
We appreciate it very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
You got it. Thanks for having me.